Right, so this is my video. Welcome. Hello. I need to work on a better intro. So in this video, I'm drawing a OC character of mine named Mitch, or his full name's Mitchell, but just goes by Mitch. And he's an original character of mine from a comic that I'm still sort of trying to work on. You can see my cringy little reference photo there. That photo is, or picture, not photo, is 7 years old, so it's the cringe, lots of cringe. I cringe looking back at a 3-year-old picture, so 7 years is a long time. But the comic is called The Spirit of the Animals, and the concept is that the main characters, one of whom is Mitch, are people who are close to their spirit animals. And so close, in fact, that they can actually transform into said spirit animal. Mitch's animal is a Puma. He's a supporting character, not the main character. But he's 2 years older than the main character, who goes by Jag. His actual name is Riley. But he's a bit, acts a bit like a mentor to Jag at first. They become like best friends. There's 2 reasons I decided to do this picture. One, he just needed an update terribly. Just in style and a little bit of refining on his outfit. But I also am starting to try and get commissions going, and I needed a reference picture for what I meant for a full background, and also just as background practice in general. And I figured Mitch would be a good way to display a full background, because he grew up on a ranch in the mountains, which is what you'll see the background become. But the ribbon, it is actually a ribbon. He ties it in the back so you can't see the parts that hang down. He actually got, there's a story behind it. He got it from a little girl that ended up getting lost in the mountains that he found when he was in his Puma form, and he helped her get back to her father, and she gave him the ribbon, thinking he was just this cat that was cool. And he kept it, and he's always had it. So it's kind of special to him, because every year he ends up finding her again on the mountain. Not lost, but he ends up finding her again. And may or may not have a crush on her. But yeah, Mitch is the very optimistic, cheerful, prankster kind of. He always has a way. He always finds a way to make things not seem so bad. He's the one who keeps his group, upbeat, no matter what's going on. And despite some of the stereotypes that go with that of, the one who smiles the most and is the most cheerful, they have this pain inside, and they're being cheerful so that other people don't have to feel how they're really feeling. And it's like, he's not actually like that. He is really just that upbeat and optimistic. If any of what I just said makes sense. I hope it did. I'm sorry. I don't write scripts out for myself when I do these voiceovers. I just speak. I should probably maybe come up with some kind of a script. It's probably never gonna happen, but it would probably be a good idea. But, so yeah, that's Mitch. He's the upbeat, fun, charismatic character that's always trying to keep everybody else, ready to go and have fun and not look, dismally at everything, if that makes sense. But he's very carefree and rough and tumble, as you can see from his clothes. They're a bit ragged. That's the word I want, ragged. The initial design I had given him back in 2010, he had these weird armband things that attached to this shirt, and I tried to make them make a little bit more sense when I redid him. It's basically the shoulders are ripped, but the sleeves are still there. He just hasn't taken the sleeves off. As well as the sleeves of the hoodie being ripped off as well, just completely. I fixed his hair a bit, as well as, just general proportions of head shape, because his head is kind of just shaped like a heart in that first one there. I decided when I was doing this that I would completely draw out the background before going in and doing any of the color, because what I normally would do is I would draw the character and do the color and all of that for the character, and then the shading and stuff, and then I would put the background in afterwards. I decided to do it differently on this one, just to see how it worked, and I did like it. I'll probably do it more often than not. Don't know if I'll do it for every single picture, but I did like how it worked. I felt like it worked a little bit more cohesively than how I normally did it. So I did the flat color the entire way around, and then went back through and added in the detail and the shadowing and stuff. I had other things that I had wanted to say. I did change the color of his hair fairly dramatically once I actually got into coloring it. So it's not like that bright, obnoxious yellow anymore. Just because one of the other ideas that's kind of, I have put through to, it's actually said in the comic, is that when a spirit keeper, that's what they're called, I think I mentioned that, comes into themselves and is actually becomes capable of becoming their animal, their hair color changes to match the animal. Well, bright yellow isn't exactly Puma colored. So like, my main character, Riley, when he was younger, actually had blonde hair, and now because his spirit animal is a black jaguar, his hair is now a dark blue-black. Two of the other characters that I need to kind of give an update to, I also need to change at least the one sister's hair color. They're twin sisters, who are tigers. One's an orange Bengal, and then the other one's a white Siberian. So I'm really, really happy with how this turned out, especially like my mountains and stuff, because I don't really do mountains a lot. And I tried to add in, one of the other things that I haven't done ever before really is add atmospheric layers, which is another thing that I attempted to do, and I feel I did fairly well for doing it for the first time. I also tried to make sure I had the background separated onto different layers to make sure that it didn't all get muddied when I was going in and adding in the detail, which again is something new for me. Lots of new things. But it's good to make sure you're always doing something new and always trying something different out, because if you always do the same thing over and over, you'll never expand what you're capable of, which is one of the things that I personally have trouble with. Is I get comfortable doing something and I don't try anything else because, oh well, I know how to do this, so I don't want to do anything else because I'm going to look bad, and recently, as I've stated in other videos, I'm trying to get away from that, to get out of that comfort zone I've created, do something new, try a different way of shading, of coloring, of doing the background, of doing the line work. I mean, it'll all still be me, obviously, but just a little different, depending. Which I think it's important, especially as an artist, no matter what medium you use, to experiment with that medium. And I've really always thought that, I've just never put it into practice myself, so now I'm like really trying to put it into practice. You can see me changing his hair here. It's a very different color now. Still not quite Puma colored, but a lot closer. But I didn't want to end up making it look gray, which is, you know, kind of what his tail looks like. Of course, if I remember correctly, I do bring a little bit more color into his tail and ears. I was trying to make, when I was coloring his sweater, it ended up looking almost like it was made out of silk, and I didn't want it to look like it was made out of silk, and I find I have that problem a lot with how I shade things. His clothes always get that sort of made of silk sheen to them, and I think it's just because of how I shade and the tools that I use. And for a while I had started using different tools, and I need to go back to that. Because Art Rage updated a little while ago and actually gave the ability to create custom brushes, and I did mess around with it a little bit, and I haven't really touched them in quite some time. So I need to go back and do that. Just, yeah. I'm kind of just talking. Don't mind me. One of the things I had kind of wanted to do was not have the line work in the background be prominent. Just kind of have it, like, sort of be there so you can tell it's there, but not be, like, in your face. And it ended up looking out of place. It didn't look like it matched him, like he looked like he was this cutout stuck in the picture. So I did go back through, at least on the fence, which I'm very happy with, by the way, and solidified the line work for it. Whereas in the background, minus the boat and the dock back there, I just got rid of the line work, because it doesn't make sense to have line work on grassy hills when the grass is going over the line work. But yes, I'm very happy with my fence. It looks like a fence. So I did make the beam he's sitting on very skinny. Oh well. I'm very happy with his expression too. Expressions is just one more thing on the list that I have trouble with. So I'm really glad I got that expression to kind of pull through that ee-hee-hee kind of, well, not like mischievous ee-hee-hee, like, but yes. I'm sorry. I'm so not good at explaining things. Just the, you know, the mischievous chuckle, I'm really happy face, I guess. My little rinky-dink trees in the background. I wasn't sure how it looked when I started doing that and like adding in the little brown stripes, but it actually turned out really good. A little bit better than I thought it would. They look like they're really far away trees. I feel as though I did a fairly decent job of getting the depth in the picture. Pretty decent. Like, you know, the hill behind him feels kind of close, and then the lake feels like it's behind the hill, and then the hills feel like they're behind the lake, and the mountains feel like they're behind each other, and at least I feel like they do. I'm very happy with my mountains. I think I said that already, but now I'm actually working on them, and I'm still very happy with them. I don't do stone very often, so it's probably one of the reasons I'm quite happy with them. But, you know, if you think there's something that I could have done a little differently, or shaded a different way, or added in to have helped with the dimensions of the picture and the atmosphere thing, then, you know, go ahead and leave a comment. I'm all for constructive criticism. Just don't be a jerk about it. You know, that's like all I ask, is don't be a jerk. There's really not a reason to be rude when you're being constructive. It really doesn't add anything to it at all, other than, you know, hey, I'm a jerk. And I'll just basically ignore you if you're being a jerk about it. So, because, you know, why should I feed the trolls, right? Cleaning up my mountains. Sounds a little weird, cleaning up my mountains. This is where I was trying to decide how I wanted to do the line work in the background, as well as the atmospheric layers, trying to fix them up a bit. All in all, I am very, very happy with this picture, and, you know, just pretty much everything about it. The only thing that's still kind of bugs me is Mitch still doesn't really feel like he's part of the picture. He still kind of feels like he's on top of it, and I can't figure out why. I'm sure in 3 months I'll look back and go, oh! But as of right now, that's the picture, and I will see you next Sunday with another art video. Till then!